Welcome to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with Rebecca Hall Gruyter. In our program each week, we provide the tools, ideas, and encouragement to help you move ahead on your journey, becoming a more powerful and impactful woman in your own life. Now here's your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter.
Welcome, everyone. I hope that you're having an amazing day. Today, we're going to be talking about being the star in your life's story. I think sometimes we only kind of show up, or next time we'll show up fully, or we sometimes navigate in autopilot where we're almost acting as if we're not the star of our own life. And I'm here to let you know, guess what? This is your life, and you have the opportunity to fully show up, to fully shine, to really share the gift of you with the world. And every day, how we choose to show up matters. It has the opportunity to make a positive difference, to make an impact. Or it can do the other if we shrink back or we're echoing out things that are not positive or things we truly stand for. So I want to encourage us to take some time today, as our experts share, to really think about how are you showing up in your life? Are you showing up? How can you step from that role of kind of being extra in the background to really taking that center stage of your life? I know one of the things I love and has so helped me take center stage of my life is having this opportunity every week to connect with all of you. I have been doing this weekly live broadcast show for almost 10 years. So we're on the other side of 9.5 years and doing multiple shows a week. And what it does for me is, one, it helps me stay connected mindfully and purposely every single week. It gives me an opportunity to learn from experts every single show and share that with you. And it gives me the opportunity to show up, to lead, to take center stage, to really stand in that space instead of shrinking back. Because if I didn't show up, there wouldn't be a show. So it's a way for me every week to build that into my life and then to have that ripple out into every day. So what are the things that you're doing to empower you to show up consistently, powerfully, to lead, to take center stage? What are the things you're choosing to build in your life to do that? It matters. Let's build things into our life that help us show up, help us shine, help us share our gifts, continue to grow, and share those things out into the world. It's such an honor to be on this journey. I'm grateful to each and every one of you as listeners, as guests, for being part of the journey, helping me grow as a host, as a leader, having that opportunity every week to show up, to be enriched by connecting with each and every one of you. I hope that you find things every week, every day that you can build into your life to support and empower you, whether it's becoming a host of your own show, taking that center stage, or speaking or sharing your message, or doing some of those things that matter most to you, building that into your life, because you get to choose how you spend your time, how you spend your energy. And the biggest gift you can give the world is more of you. So listen today. Really take in what's being shared and empowering you to help you shine in your life story, to truly show up. As we connect in, I want us to take a moment and let these thoughts kind of ripple in on a deeper level. Let's really set the stage for our conversation today. So let's take a breath in through the nose, all the way to your toes. Wiggle your toes, make sure air is getting down there. Beautiful. And then out through your mouth, like through a straw. Beautiful. As all of that oxygen's coming in and we're slowing down, we become more present. This creates room and space for us to breathe, to receive, and to actually listen, where we can actually take in what is being shared. Let's quiet all that noise around us, all that the noise even within us, that swirling. Let's take another breath. Close your eyes. You're absolutely safe. And as we think about what it is that you need today to support you, to encourage you, to empower you, to be that star in your life, to take center stage, what is it that you need today? In fact, put both hands on your heart. Just really connect in as you're breathing, eyes closed. What is it that you need today? That you are willing to receive, because you absolutely have choice. So what is it that you need and are willing to receive? Beautiful. Let's receive that information. Take another breath. Open up your eyes. Deep breath, eyes open, fully present. And take a moment to really take in what you were reminded of, what it is that you do need, what is it you're willing to receive. Are you taking center stage? Are you really showing up as the star? Are you really owning your life fully? Choosing, not autopilot, choosing how you're showing up. Take a moment and write down what was laid on your heart when you took a moment. This is part of creating your life story, is listening to your heart's desire, listening to that still small voice, that wisdom that's speaking to you, that's pressing upon you what it is that you need. The more we can listen to that, the easier it is to align with our truth when we pause and listen and to really take center stage in our life. I have found that pausing, slowing down, and listening are critical steps, keys to being able to do that with joy and purpose. Beautiful. We're going to go around our virtual room as you're writing down your thoughts and see what was laid on our guest experts' hearts as they took a moment to stop, pause, and listen. So with that, Toni, I'd love for you to start. What was laid on your heart?
Well, thank you so much for this opportunity of being on. And what was laid on my heart, even with just this process that you were doing, was just to stop a minute. Sometimes we are so busy. I'm so busy that we don't take the moment for the quietness, the stillness, and to hear what your mind and heart is saying. And so that's what I did. It allowed me to calm down, to relax, and just to get into what you were saying and what I was feeling, and then how we can relate to each other as we share with the audience.
Beautiful. Isn't that so powerful when we stop just for a minute, what it can do for us?
Absolutely.
And it's so amazing. So thank you for sharing. Beautiful. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
And Beth, how about you? What was laid on your heart?
Yeah, what was laid on my heart came to me was the word connection. Because we can connect in so many ways, like we can connect here, but sometimes, honestly, it's easy for me to pause and stay inside my office and do my own thing and not necessarily make that effort. So I think that having this opportunity for connection is very, it's important to all of us to not only pause, but really connect with each other and connect from the heart level. So thank you for having us put our hands over heart, because I think that's an important reminder as well. So it really was all about connection.
I love that. Thank you for sharing. And really choosing what I'm hearing and what you're saying also is it's a choice. I mean, we can kind of stay separate and do our thing. But when we stop and pause and mindfully, purposely connect with ourselves, our heart, and then with each other, it's such a powerful opportunity that we can really richly step into and bring that connection forward and really be purposeful about it and enjoy it deeply.
Yes.
Oh, I appreciate you sharing. Listeners, I'm curious about what was laid on your heart when you took a moment to pause and you've heard what's on my heart about really stepping into that center stage, claiming it, about remembering to pause and listen as Toni shared the power of that for her, and then that heart connection with ourselves and each other that Beth was touched by. How is that adding in to the mix of what you received as you slowed down and listened? As we step into our first commercial break, I want to encourage you to stay in this space, to really write down, listen to what is being laid on your heart and spirit. And when we come back, we're going to continue our conversation, really supporting you in these areas. And I want to remind you, you are part of that conversation. So how you connect and show up energetically feeds into what we're sharing, whether you're listening now or you're listening in the future, it all connects. And for those of you who are listening live, listening as we are producing the show, we give an 800 number you can call. So we'll be sharing that each break as we come back. So if you have something on your heart that you're wanting to ask and share, please make note of that, because you are an important part of this conversation. We want you to have an opportunity to be the star in your life story. And if we can help echo and shine you out today, we're honored to do so. So we are going to our first commercial break. Take a moment to write down what is being laid on your heart, and we'll continue our conversation in just a moment.
Follow Voice America at facebook.com/Voice America for juicy updates from your favorite radio shows and podcasts.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
Voice America programs are now available on your favorite connected device, including Amazon, Alexa, and Google Home. Through streams with Apple Podcasts, TuneIn, and iHeartRadio, listening to your favorite show is as easy as saying the show name followed by the word podcast.
Hey, Alexa, play Finding Your Frequency podcast.
If that doesn't work, try adding on TuneIn or on iHeartRadio or on Apple Podcasts.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at SpeakerTalentSearch.com. That's SpeakerTalentSearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
It's your world. Motivate, change, succeed. VoiceAmericaEmpowerment.com.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-888-346-9141. That's 1-888-346-9141. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed that pause, those 2 minutes just for you. An opportunity to really sink into, how are you showing up in your life? How are you claiming your life story? How are you being the star? How are you choosing to take the next steps? Where's the plot going to go? What's the next scene going to be? How are you bringing forward those things that matter to you most? It's exciting. We get to write our life story. We get to be the center figure and star. So I'm very excited to introduce our first amazing guest. You heard from her in the opening segment, and she talked about how powerful that pause, just taking a moment, was for her. And I love Toni's heart and spirit. I know you're going to love her energy and her strong encouragement that we get to keep stepping forward. We get to move into that place that we want to be. You'll find her inspiring and encouraging. So here's a little bit about Toni. She is an international best-selling author and the CEO of Precious Stones for Life, LLC. And it's a company that specializes in seminars, keynote speaking, and professional development. She is passionate about helping you live a life of purpose. Please lean in. Warmly welcome the powerful and dynamic Toni Bruce to the show. Welcome.
Well, thank you so much, Rebecca. I appreciate that. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Very, very welcome. Thrilled to have you joining us today. And I wanted to start with, why is this work of helping people in this way, really taking these precious stepping stones, putting them into their life, why is that work personally so important to you?
That's such a very important question, and it's so important to me because as I reflect back on my own life, on my own upbringing, the younger years, it was much love and peace and calmness. And then from the age of 10 up for about the next 6 years, the decisions and the upbringing and the lack of security and trust and confidence made such a difference in my life that it caused me to make bad decisions and bad choices. And it threw me off the path in bad relationships. And I got caught up, in not being my best, in a bad marriage and abusive relationship and drinking and drugs. I got caught up in losing my dreams and losing my way and my path. Wanting to be a psychologist, and instead ended up, doing just the opposite, caught up on drinking and drugs and being homeless. So all of these things that I went through are real life situations. And I know that people have real life situations. And because of the way how God brought me out, I had to learn. I went through struggles and trials and difficulties. I had to look in the mirror and say, I am somebody. That's what God told me to do. So I had to find my way and fight my way through to become someone. And then I realized, wow, there are other Tonis out there that may need help, that may need understanding, that may know that somebody went through things that they're going through. And so I made a determination. You know what? Listen, if my voice can be heard, then let it be heard. After some coaching, I'm not going to say that. When God told me to do it, then at first I'm like, oh, no, God. What will people think about me? So sometimes we have to remove self out the way for the betterment of ourselves and others.
Beautiful. Yeah. Thank you for sharing, Toni. And for those of you that this is your first time meeting Toni, that's just a taste of some of her journey. And I appreciate your willingness to share the path that you've gone on, the winding, and being able to discover your truth and to find your dreams again, and to be able to step forward in such a powerful way that you are now reaching your hand back to help others do the same in their lives. I honor that. I celebrate that. And I'd love for you to share, was there a turning point that helped you make that shift? Because you mentioned you were in all of those challenging situations, from a bad relationship, abusiveness, and homelessness, and just loss, drugs, alcohol, the whole thing. And then you were able to turn that around and shift in such a powerful direction to how you're showing up in the world today. So do you mind sharing, was there a moment? Was it gradual? How did that happen? What did you do?
Okay, well, the first main point was when I finally left my situation. And I left with just my daughter and $50 in my pocket coming to Florida, which is where I live now. And making that transition and that change in my life was first the turning point. Mm-hmm. And then, taking that time for myself, like I said, to listen and take a breather to see where I am and where I'm going. And then from that time on, then Florida started making such positive impact in my life that people and opportunities, I ended up going to college eventually and getting my bachelor's. I ended up working at Kennedy Space Center, for 22 years. And then one of the main things that allowed me to get into my company mm-hmm. is when I graduated. I graduated many years later when my daughter was going to school. Is when I was going to school. And at the graduation, I traveled 70 miles a day. I was determined that I'm going to get this. I was determined that I wanted to be an example to my daughter and daughters, my grandchildren. I was determined that I wanted to make a difference in my life, that I had value and self-worth. And so I worked hard. I traveled 70 miles one way to go to work and come back to go to school after the inner school. And at my graduation, it's when Les Brown, he was the speaker. And as there was like 4 people ahead of me. And I was standing there, and I was thanking God for where he has brought me from. It was many, many years after that. And he said that you have to hunger. You have to want something in your life. You need to make an impact on others. What do you want? You're worth something. And right then and there, I made up my mind for sure. Not only do I want it for myself, but I want it for as many other people that are willing to hear me and listen to me. And so right then and there on that stage, right before they called my name, is when I made that decision. And when they called my name, Rebecca, I went across the stage with my arms raised up, so thankful, because I knew where I came from. I knew the challenges and the difficulties where God had brought me from. Are you kidding me? Oh, man. Yes. I was thankful.
Oh, I love it. I love it. And those turning points and that conviction and that decision of where you're going forward and that decision to reach back and help others has really planted the seeds to create precious stones for life, where I know you are working and reaching out and helping so many. And I again, just honor and celebrate that. And I have a question around this, because you have had such an amazing change in your life, and now are rippling out and touching so many hearts and lives as a podcast host, as a speaker, as in different types of work that you do, different ministries that you do, as well as through your company and your writing. So you're having this powerful ripple. As you reflect on all of that and all the work that you've done with people, are there some tips that you can give us to help us ourselves become that star in our life story? Not a tragic victim, but a star. How can we start taking those steps to really take that center stage of our life?
Oh, absolutely. There's definitely tips that anyone can take to make a change, to make a difference. And I call them 10 gems of greatness. These are things that will change your life. Number 1, turn negative experiences into positive blessings. Number 2, open your heart to God and nature. Number 3, never be afraid of change. Embrace it positively. Number 4, income has no limit, so work hard. 5, strength will be given to you. 6, be the best version of you that you can possibly be. 7, repeat the steps of encouragers and supporters and coaches while creating your own path. Number 8, utilize your gifts and talents. 9, choose to love yourself. You have to love yourself. And number 10, educate your mind and body every day. Feed it with positive, good things. Read, exercise, walk, watch what you eat. All of these things, Rebecca, these 10 gems are things that I followed to allow me to become the woman that I am now. To allow me to be the mother and the grandmother, the friend, to be the CEO that I am. I don't forget where God has brought me from, and I aim to go higher and bring in others with me. And even in doing that, with all the negative things, so don't think that God can't bless you for all the negative stuff that you may have had, including relationships, including, how your life may be. God has his eyes on us, and he remembers us, and he loves us, even to the point, Rebecca, out of those negative relationships and marriages, God blessed me with a husband with all of that track record that I had. So these 10 gems, put them into practice, put them in your mind, and you'll be amazed at what you can become.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Toni. I appreciate it. And for those of you who, as you let those 10 steps, those 10 gems pour over you, you have the opportunity, if you want to hear them again and hear the amazing inspirational support and energy and care that Toni brings, you can listen to the replay, so don't feel panicked if you didn't write all of them down. You can definitely go back and let those pour over you again, because those are important, life-changing gems to support you in being the star in your life, to really stepping forward in the ways that you are uniquely made and gifted, and claiming your worth, claiming that stage, and really sharing the gift of you shining and sparkling out into the world. So, Toni, thank you so much for your wisdom, your sharing, your inspiration, and your valuable tips that you've given us today. I so appreciate it. And
absolutely. I thank you so much for it. And, and forgiveness, we must forgive. That gives us freedom.
Yes.
So
beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Rebecca. Thank you.
Absolutely, Toni. Thank you for joining us. And we are getting ready to go to our next commercial break. When we come back, we're going to be bringing our next amazing guest aboard. Towards the end of the show, we're going to have Toni and Beth share their contact information, final tips. So for those of you who are wanting more of either of our guests, we're going to let you know the best way to do that and how to connect. For now, I encourage you to enjoy these 2 minutes. Really let that wisdom pour over you. Take a moment to stop, pause, breathe in, integrate what will serve and support you. Breathe out what no longer serves. Really take these 2 minutes for you. And we'll continue our conversation in just a moment.
A little birdie told me Voice America is on Twitter. Follow us at Voice America TRN.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at speakertalentsearch.com. That's speakertalentsearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
Voice America programs are now available on your favorite connected device, including Amazon, Alexa, and Google Home. Through streams with Apple Podcasts, TuneIn, and iHeartRadio, listening to your favorite show is as easy as saying the show name followed by the word podcast.
Hey, Alexa, play Finding Your Frequency podcast.
If that doesn't work, try adding on TuneIn or on iHeartRadio or on Apple Podcasts.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
It's your world. Motivate, change, succeed. VoiceAmericaEmpowerment.com.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-888-346-9141. That's 1-888-346-9141. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope that you enjoyed those 2 minutes. We've built those pauses into the show on purpose to really get intentionally to give you the opportunity to pause, breathe, and integrate. Instead of adding things to your to-do list, we're giving you an opportunity real time to breathe, to take in everything that serves and release what no longer does. So it actually starts to become part of you on a cellular level. So enjoy those breaks, those pauses. They are built in to support and empower you. And as I was reflecting on today's show and really stepping into being the star of your life, I love to let you know about different resources that can help support you on your journey. So one of the things I've discovered about being a star in our own life, really owning our space and who we are, is that we need to be intentional, purposeful. You've heard us talking about that. How do we step into that in a mindful, powerful way? Now, our next guest is such an expert on really being mindful, being connected, staying present. I know you're going to enjoy what she has to share with us. There's also an amazing book that when I find out about powerful books that can support you, I'd love to let you know about them as well. So today, there is a book that was released yesterday on Amazon called Intention by Jennifer Bardot. And there are 40 women that came together to share how they have learned to be intentional, how to deconstruct a grit that it can take to really move forward in powerful ways. And I wanted to mention this to you today because it became an international bestseller, and they've decided to extend the special rate of $1.99 that they had for the day it was released through today. So for anyone listening today that would love to add a resource like that to your library, I encourage you to check it out. You can find it on Amazon. We're posting and sharing it on our page as well. It's called Intention, and it's by Jennifer Bardot. You'll be able to add that to your library. So it is time sensitive, so make sure to lean in if that book calls to you and supports you. And with that, I am just thrilled and excited to enjoy our next guest. You're going to love her energy. She's very grounded and has great wisdom and insight to support us on our journey. So Beth McGill is a certified hypnotherapist, energy healer practitioner, I should say, spiritual mentor, teacher, inspirational speaker, and best-selling author. She is passionate about helping you on your life's journey to really step forward in a courageous and empowered way. Please lean in. Warmly welcome the powerful, dynamic, and empowering Beth McGill to the show. Welcome.
Awesome. Thank you, Rebecca, so much. I'm so excited to be here today.
Wonderful. I am too. My hands are up. I'm excited. Picturing you taking the stage. Yes. So welcome. Well, I'd like to start our conversation with why. Why is this work of helping people in all these different ways step into their life in this empowered, courageous way? Why is that work so important to you?
Oh, wow. Well, what's the theme, Rebecca? Honestly, I have learned how to make myself and allow myself to be the star and the shining light in my life. And it's a process, right? It takes a while, and it's definitely taken a while for me, but because I'm here and I know I'm a powerful creator and I know that you are too, that's my mission. I want to help others understand at a very deep level that they're powerful and that they can shine in their life. And it's a beautiful experience, and that's why I'm here.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I love it. I love your clarity and knowing, and that you mentioned it's a journey. It doesn't happen overnight. And how beautiful is it that we can get support on the journey by someone who has walked that path and really invested in helping us shine and helping us share the gift of who we are in the world. And I'm curious, because you mentioned it's a journey. So was there something on that journey? Was there a pivotal point? Was it gradual that helped you start to take that center stage of your life, really discover that you are a creator and own that and bring it forward?
Yeah, so it's interesting. As I do look back, there have been some subtle movements where it's been, just slow and incremental, but there have been other very pivotal moments that have made a huge shift. But I think that the one question that I've always asked throughout my journey, because, I started as a elementary teacher, then became a financial advisor, and now as a hypnotherapist and energy healer, helping people on a soul level, it's been quite a journey. But the one question that I always asked myself was, how can I help more people? That question for me has guided me even before I started my spiritual journey. And I did have a pivotal moment at a retreat. And a coach asked me, we were sitting in Santa Barbara. We're actually sitting in a cemetery, but the cemetery in Santa Barbara is absolutely gorgeous. Our back is to the Pacific Ocean, and he had us looking at the gravestones, and he said, what are you going to do between now and dead? And this was 10 years ago when I was asked that question. And as I looked at my life, I knew that I was a teacher. I knew that I was a financial advisor. However, those were labels. I didn't know who I really was, and I didn't know what the impact was that I was supposed to have on the world, but I know that I was supposed to have an impact. So that question was pivotal to me, because then I changed my perspective. I opened up my eyes wide open, like, God, Spirit, Universe, what is out there for me? I didn't know what it was, Rebecca, but I knew that I had to look for something more. So that was one of those really pivotal moments. And then I kept reading. I kept my eyes open. And then I had a few other pivotal moments that I just kept saying yes to the universe, and led me to where I am today.
I love that. Thank you for sharing. What a powerful perspective and question to ask ourselves. What are we doing between now and dead? What is our purpose? Not our labels, but who are we? What are we meant to do, meant to bring forward? And I love your clarity on this. I want to help people. I want to make a difference. And I know for myself, sometimes, so I'm curious if this was your journey or with people that you have worked with, I can find my courage to help others sometimes more easily than I can find it to help me. Sometimes it's easier for me to be that person, to take that stretch, to be vulnerable when I know it can make a difference for another, make the path easier. And then I tend to find my courage that way. And it's more easy for me to tap into it that way, take the stretch, and then figure out, oh, it wasn't as scary or as hard as I thought it was, or it was hard, but wow, I'm stronger than I know. So I'm curious what your experience has been, or those that you have worked with.
Yeah, so absolutely. And, that was the question that I asked, was how can I help more people? But in that process, you're spot on. It's how can I help myself? How can I heal myself first and foremost before I can help anyone else? And so the more that I healed, the more that I learned about who I was, then it's like God's Spirit Universe just keeps giving me more understanding so that I can help more people. But it's definitely a healing process. It's a healing journey. And that's why I love being at where I'm at now, where I know that we all have this power within us. We all can shine brightly. And I love sharing that with people, because honestly, I find that so many women especially put everybody else first. And it was funny because I was having a conversation with someone the other day, and we were talking about food, and even talking about how as women, we oftentimes don't care so much about we don't put the emphasis on what we're eating in our physical bodies. Like Toni was just talking about, that's important. And we put others first. So we're, what does my husband want for dinner? What do my kids want? And we're putting others' food first with the small things, but also the bigger things as well. So I think we need to really put ourselves first in all categories.
Really, really powerful. And that taps into even some of what Toni was sharing too about our value and our worth, and really owning that and honoring that. And as you have worked with so many people and helped empower them on their journey, is there a common thread that you see, a way that consistently, or a pattern that you see, or a consistent way that we could model in the people that you do see consistently shining? Is there something that you have observed or seen in that we can learn from?
Yeah, I think it's really being aware of how you're feeling, and being aware of your thoughts, but more importantly, really how you're feeling, because we have, like you said at the beginning, we have a choice, right? We have a choice to have a better feeling in any moment. And so many people take the role of victim, or I can't do this. But really, we can. We are powerful. So that thread would be that I'm owning how I'm feeling right now. I can choose joy. I can choose faith, or I can choose being less than. But it's my choice. And I'm choosing to feel powerful. I'm choosing to feel joy. I'm choosing to feel a better feeling emotion in whatever I'm going through in the moment. So I think that's bold. I think it's powerful. Some people might say it's selfish, but we have to have that cup full before we can help others. So that would be that thread. How am I feeling right now in the present? And can I, as a powerful creator, feel better?
I love that, because it gives us a choice and a reminder. And if we're feeling a way we don't want to feel, we can choose to shift that and move into how we want to be, how we want to feel. That choice is so important, and we get to own it. We get to decide how we're going to keep showing up, keep moving forward. Thank you for that reminder, because sometimes we can forget, we can get reactionary, we can get an autopilot, and reminding us that we do choose, and we get to keep choosing. So with that, is there any additional tip that you would give us to help us share and shine more brightly and powerfully each and every day?
Yeah, two things come to mind. One, take the time to meditate. It really is about knowing who you are at a soul level, and having that connection to your soul, because you're not separate. There's no reason to be separate. You're a spiritual being having a physical experience. So get to know who you are at the soul level. Take 5 minutes quiet your mind. And the other thing that comes to mind is we get to play. We get to play. We get to create the movie. We get to create our life. Play with it. Dream again. Use your imagination. What do I want my life to look like? What do I want to do? And it doesn't matter how old you are, how young you are. You get to create your life. You get to use your imagination. It is the most powerful tool that we have. So visualize it. Use your imagination. See what that life is that you want to have. See yourself as this shining star. Write it down. Draw a picture of you in the movie, whatever resonates with you, and play with it, run with it, and have fun. That's what I would suggest.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing. I'm smiling as we're reminded that we get to do this, that the pen is in our hand, that we get to write, we get to create, we get to dream, regardless of our age, our experience, what has happened up till now. We get to choose what we write, what we create, starting now, going forward. So important. Beth, I just so appreciate you joining us today. Thank you for your wisdom, your insight, and bringing joy and play in as well. I love that. So thank you. Just
thank
beautiful.
You.
Absolutely.
Thanks.
Absolutely. We are getting ready to go to our next commercial break. And as we do that, I encourage you, take that pen in your hand to really reflect on what Beth has shared. What are you wanting to create in your life? What do you want to choose? What do you want to dream about? What do you want to bring forward? What are you choosing? Enjoy these 2 minutes, and we'll be back in just a moment.
Voice America is on your favorite smart speaker. If you have Alexa or Google Home, go ahead and give us a try.
Hey Alexa, play Finding Your Frequency podcast on TuneIn.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
You need to live up to your full potential. You've heard that for years, but now there's a channel to help you get there. Introducing the Voice America Empowerment Channel. Our listeners have told us that they want to be motivated, hear about success stories, and positive encouragement around the clock. And we've responded to you. The Voice America Empowerment Channel is the home of the world's top life coaches, entrepreneurs, and success experts. Listen to the Voice America Empowerment Channel. It's here at voiceamericaempowerment.com.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at speakertalentsearch.com. That's speakertalentsearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-888-346-9141. That's 1-888-346-9141. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed those 2 minutes. I hope that you found yourself swept up in dreaming and writing what it is that you want to create. I invite you to take a few minutes at the end of the show today. Instead of rushing back out into the day, take a few minutes for you. A perfect time to breathe in all that serves, those things that have sparked you, those things that have inspired you. Take a moment to really breathe them in and process them on a cellular level. capture those insights, those thoughts, those dreams, those things that you are choosing and want to bring into your life. Take a moment for you to write them down, to capture them, to start co-creating and bringing them into reality. One of the ways I have found, I was reflecting as Beth was sharing about how we can choose our emotions. We can choose what we're going to keep feeling. So I have a process I wanted to share as a final tip for anyone who it may serve and help out there. So when, not if, but when we have one of those days where things are feeling tight and rushed and pressured and things are not going right and another red light and all those things that can start to add pressure, feel like they're closing in around you, and you can feel that your heart racing and you're trying to keep up and you're starting to feel more reactionary kind of thing. When that happens, and then that one more thing that you can't handle happens, what I have found in that moment is if I can stop and pause and ask myself this question, Rebecca, is this who you want to be? Feeling stressed out, stretched thin, and pressured? No. So is this who you want to be? And if I pause and I answer and I say no, then I ask, who do you want to be? How do you want to be? And I take just 10 seconds, 15 seconds and answer that question. I want to be more peaceful. I want to be calm. I want more space, more time. And then I say, in your next breath, be that. Choose that. And what I have found is every time I'm able to, in that 30 seconds, I'm able to stop, pause, and shift. I have clarity. I can make different choices and let my day unfold differently than how it began. So I encourage you to own your power. Choose to take center stage. You matter and are needed in the world. You get to choose how you're showing up. You get to bring the amazing gift of who you are forward. To support you, I'm going to have our guests share their contact information, and this is on purpose so that you're able to connect, you're able to go deeper. So listen, have your paper and pen ready. Toni, what is the best way for us to connect in with you?
Okay, I am both on Facebook and Instagram. Or they can go by my name, either Toni, Toni, Stone Bruce, that's Stone, and Bruce, Bruce, or the company name, which is Precious Stones, with an S, 4 Life, at gmail.com.
Beautiful. Thank you, Toni, so much. I appreciate it. And I'd love to have Beth, I'd love to have you share your contact information, the best way for people to connect in.
Absolutely. The best way is my website, which is thriveflourishgrow.com. And if you scroll down on the homepage, there's a button that says, send me my 100 inspirational writing prompts, please. And if you click that button, I will send you 100 inspirational writing prompts that I've created from my own journal, and I would love to share out today.
Beautiful. Thank you, Beth. What a generous gift. Good. It's perfect for what we've talked about today, so I love it. Great next step. Thank you. Well, listeners, I want to thank you all for joining us. I encourage you to really connect in with Toni and Beth as they're making themselves available to you, providing resources to support you on your journey. Reach out, really take that center stage, take that pen in hand to write those next steps and bring in that support that can encourage you on your journey. Take a few moments at the end of the show for you to really pause and choose how you're going to mindfully, intentionally, purposely step into your day and continue the work that you have begun. Continue to bring those dreams that have been planted in your heart forward. You are a gift. I hope that as you go forward each and every day, you choose to bloom where you're planted and shine. Have an amazing week, everyone, and we'll talk to you next time.
Thank you for joining us this week for Empowering Women, Transforming Lives. Please tune in again for another edition with your host, Rebecca Hall-Gruyter, next Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, 10 a.m. Pacific, on the Voice America Empowerment Channel, with a replay on Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern and 1 p.m. Pacific on the Voice America Variety Channel. Have a beautiful week, and may you always bloom where you're planted and shine.